Well, that was exhausting. You'd think a series with a tagline, "Gotta catch 'em all," would make the catching part at least somewhat difficult, but damn. When you have to catch all 700 of these guys like I have, it can get really frustrating. These are the ones that drove me the most insane on my quest to catch them all. Number 10. I'm sure this is the problem plenty of kids had. You have this cool haunter that you're using throughout your adventure, when suddenly, a trainer shows up in-game using a Gengar, so of course you want to figure out how to get it. You level it up to level 100, you try using every evolutionary stone, but nothing works. So what do? You trade it, of course. This wouldn't be so bad assuming you had friends who played Pokemon and had a link cable, assuming you're playing pre-4th gen. Even then, you'd have to trust your friend wouldn't be a jerk and steal your Pokemon away from you. It's also really annoying when you need the Pokemon to be carrying an item specifically designed to help them evolve. Why? Was there not enough hoops to jump through? Do we really have to add giving them a blanket, or a crown, or a whatever this is supposed to be? It's just a really annoying way to force people to give Game Freak more money and to show off the old trading gimmick. Number 9. Event Pokemon are undoubtedly the hardest Pokemon to catch because you can't catch them. You can only obtain them if you attend a Nintendo-sponsored event. I don't mind it when the event Pokemon are shiny legendaries or Pokemon with exclusive moves, because at least you don't need those to complete the Pokédex. However, Pokemon like Jirachi, Celebi, Arceus, and Genesect will forever remain locked off until Nintendo decides to host an event for one of these legendaries. Unfortunately, these events are very infrequent. Think about it. When was the last time there was a Jirachi event? To make things worse, the events are usually region-specific, meaning if your country's branch of Nintendo doesn't want to host it, too bad! I remember for the longest time us Canadian fans hardly ever got these, so I can imagine the pain other fans must go through. Luckily, with Deoxys available in-game in Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, this may show the trend is slowly fading away. Otherwise, though, event Pokemon are bullshit. Or Tauros. Number 8. Oh hey look, it's Entei! Oh come on! This perfectly describes people's frustration with roaming legendaries. Since Generation 2, players everywhere have been frustrated by these Pokemon. As soon as you begin an encounter with one of them, they run away from you after one turn. Just to make things more frustrating, they change location every time you go to another route, so trying to get one can be very annoying, especially if you don't know how to track it. The easiest way to catch one of these guys is by bringing a Pokemon with Arena Trap, Shadow Tag, or Mean Look. Make sure these Pokemon are strong too, because if they're knocked out, the legendary will make a break for it ASAP. Luckily, these haven't been seen since Pokemon Black and White, but I wouldn't be surprised if they returned once again just to annoy us. Number 7. Who would think the first 4th generation Pokemon revealed would be such a pain to get? There are plenty of ways to get Munchlax, but none of them are really that easy. The first and easiest way to get a Munchlax is to simply breed a Snorlax, which really isn't— Hey, wait, hold on! What happened? He needs a full incense? Oh, you'd think a Pokemon called Snorlax would need a lax incense. Gee, what was I thinking? The second way of getting a Munchlax is through honey trees in Generation 4. The idea is to leave honey on specially marked trees for 6 hours, and then come back and catch a Pokemon. Sometimes that Pokemon will be Munchlax. Sometimes. See, certain trees are designated Munchlax trees based on your trainer ID and secret ID, the latter of which cannot be viewed. The game doesn't tell you which trees are Munchlax trees, meaning it's all blind luck. Plus, even if you did know which trees to check, there's only a 1% chance they'll even show up at all. That's ridiculous. The third and final way to get a Munchlax is in the Black and White post-game, where you can trade a Chinchino for the little guy. At least there's a light at the end of this tunnel. Number 6. Spiritomb. This may not be a legendary Pokemon, but it's pretty legendary to find him. In order to obtain a Spiritomb, you must first get a strange stone from some guy on a random route, then take it to another weird stone on another random route, and then talk 30 times in the underground, and then investigate the rock again? This is like one of those fake internet rumors about how to get Mew in Red and Blue. There's no way this is possible. It shouldn't be. It can't be. But alas, it is. The other ways of getting a Spiritomb include doing an annoying side quest in Black and White 2, and investigating a random bookcase on the Sea Mauville. I want to be in the room when Pokemon comes up with these ideas. I like to imagine they're just reading guides on how to find Mew in Gen 1 and making them canon. So expect to see Spiritomb under the truck sometime soon. Number 5. I imagine most people who play Pokemon have basic reading skills. Also, most people who play Pokemon can probably see. This begs the question, who at Game Freak thought it would be a brilliant idea to use Braille to communicate how to unlock the legendary golems? Yes, the legendary trio of Regirock, Registeel, and Regice have always been a pain to find. It's so bad, I wonder if Game Freak purposely designed it so kids would have to buy the strategy guide just to find them. In which case, you guys suck! This all came to a head when in Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, in order to obtain Regigigas, you need to get all 3 Regis by going through their ridiculous puzzles, nickname Regice, and then have him hold a Castelia cone. That's just ridiculous. Whoever thought of that should be fired immediately. Number 4. Deoxys. Now, I know what you might be saying. Isn't Deoxys an event legendary?
No, not anymore!
At the end of Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, you unlock the Delta episode, a special side story featuring components of Pokemon Emerald that didn't make it into the final game. At the conclusion of this story, in order to stop a meteor that's heading straight for Earth, you need to catch the legendary Rayquaza, then prove your might by defeating Dragon Master Zinnia, then riding Rayquaza into space, blowing up the meteor, and revealing a Deoxys to fight and catch. So it's just a normal battle against Deoxys? How's that difficult? Oh, how little you know. First of all, Deoxys is level 80, the highest level of any wild Pokemon. Because of that, he can be very difficult for lower level Pokemon to take down. Well then just use your level 70 Rayquaza you just got. There's just one problem. Rayquaza is way too powerful. Since he's in his Mega form, pretty much every attack is an instant KO. This could have been fixed if the fight was against defense form Deoxys, but the developers purposely chose to put him in his normal form. Plus, even if you do manage to lower his health, he knows Recover, instantly bringing his health back up, making your life even more difficult. If you do manage to fail in capturing Deoxys, you can try again after beating the champion again. The champion, whose Pokemon are all 20 levels higher now. I hope you enjoy grinding! But if you're like me and you want to catch the Lord of the Sky and the Alien Virus all in one go and fail, then you gotta reload the game and... Oh no! I have to catch Rayquaza again, beat Zinnia again, watch the cutscene again, and fight Deoxys again. God damn it! You know what? Forget this. I'm just gonna pretend Deoxys is still an event Pokemon.
Number 3. Fucking Feebas. This piece of shit was almost impossible to get before Generation 5. Only located on Route 119, Feebas could only be caught in 6 random fishing spots. You aren't told where these spots are, and you could miss him entirely if you don't check every single fishing spot. At least when you find them, you can memorize where they are. Unless, of course, you're playing Generation 4, in which there's just 4 locations, which are randomized every day. Game Freak, do you even want people to complete the Pokédex? Even when you catch Feebas, it's pretty worthless, unless, of course, you evolve it. Well, how do you do that, you may ask? Leveling up? Using a stone? Trading? Trading with an item? Well, in Generation 5 and onward, you would be right. But before then, you had to raise the Pokemon's beauty. That's right, you had to make this ugly fish, the most beautiful ugly fish ever, using Pokeblock and Poffins, meaning you had to spend time gathering berries, cooking them in a minigame, and then feeding them to Feebas. Thankfully, this has been completely done away with in every game Wait, what? No! No, come on! Game Freak! Number 2. Mew.
Hold it!
Mew is an event legendary and it can only be obtained through glitching and hacking.
Objection!
You clearly don't remember My Pokemon Ranch. To be fair though, nobody remembers My Pokemon Ranch. This pain of catching Mew is only saved by obscurity. For the uninitiated, My Pokemon Ranch was a WiiWare title released alongside Pokemon Diamond and Pearl that was meant to be used as extra PC storage. However, 2 rare Pokemon can be obtained in this game by trading for them with an egg. Fiona, who can be obtained by just bringing in 250 Pokemon, and Mew, who can be obtained by bringing in
999 Pokemon.
Just as a reminder, at this time there were only 493 Pokemon. meaning you would need more than twice the full national dex in order to get Mew. Even if he's not under the truck, Mew is still a huge pain to catch. What could be worse than having to catch 999 Pokemon for just one rare one? You enter this place at the price of 500. In it are hard to catch Pokemon, without reducing health, without status ailments, without alternate balls. A place where catching Pokemon is a huge pain. You've just entered the Safari Zone. Seriously though, f*** the Safari Zone. It's an alright distraction when you're just having fun running around looking for things to catch, but when you want to complete the Pokédex, it's the worst thing ever. So how do you catch Pokemon in the Safari Zone? You can't use your own Pokemon. No, that would be too easy. Instead, you need to just stand there and throw Safari Balls, which is the equivalent of throwing Great Balls. You can also throw rocks and bait at the Pokemon, which either makes them more easy to catch or less likely to run away. Oh, did I forget to mention? Pokemon can run away, and unlike legendaries, you can't track them. It's really annoying since a lot of Pokemon like Tauros, Chansey, Kangaskhan can only be found in the Safari Zone. This feature hasn't returned since 5th gen, and honestly, I really haven't missed it. So those are my top 10 most annoying to catch Pokemon. What are some of the ones that you've had a hard time catching? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching.